let's just get right to it.
Go for it.
We go to the phones. Devin, you said Devin from Inkster?
Yeah, we got Devin from Inkster. What's up,
Devin
man?
from Inkster. Devin, appreciate you calling Big D Energy. What do you got for us?
All right, Neil. This is my first call on the first show, so I got to come with standards.
You do.
You have to come with fucking standards. Neil, quick question, quick question. Start, cut, or bench. If you had the option to grab Ramsey because you notice that the Dolphins are over the cap, would you start him, bench him over Sutton, or bring Iffy back to that spot of corner to have him take over Sutton as the CB1?
All right. And look, Devin, here's the thing for me. I typically am against cornerbacks with cap hits of $33 million. Typically. Because that's what his cap hit is this year. So unless you can swing something where the Dolphins are going to foot some of the bill, then I have 0% interest in that. I would take everybody else you listed that is already on site, and I'm not interested, Sam Flannel, in $33 million to Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah,
Sorry.
When it comes to Jalen Ramsey, my thing is that if you're going to grab a corner, there are options in free agency that at least their market values, according to Spot Track, are not $33 million. And in the case of a couple of them, were better than Jalen Ramsey last year. I don't hate the idea because corner is a position of need for the Lions, but I would tend to agree with you, Neil. $33 million for Jalen Ramsey at this stage isn't worth it.
Because, Devin, you're taking on 2 years at $49 million with a guy that's 31. And Devin, I'll ask you the question then, because you were kind enough to call in. I'll ask you did you drop? You cut off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well,
That's
Devin, I'll just pose a question out there. Are we in the business of 31-year-old cornerbacks, 30-year-old cornerbacks right now, 2 years at $49 million? I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
There's better options in free agency for sure.
Now, I like that. That was good. Devin, you guys talk Devin up. Devin's got gold card status.
Yes.
Already. I like it.
Yeah, he good people. We do have another caller, just so you know.
All right. Well, who do we have?
We have Andrew. What's up, Andrew?
Andrew, thanks for calling Big D Energy. What do you got for us?
Hi, do you think the reason we don't have a kicker is because of Dan Campbell's coaching style and he just doesn't like kickers?
No, I think the reason we don't have a kicker is because when you get in those waters, like everyone's like, what's Matt Prater doing? I'll tell you what Matt Prater was doing. Making $3.5 million a year as a kicker, $4 million a year as a kicker. Now, would you say, and look, I know that ultimately they ended up cutting Isaiah Buggs. Like, I know that. But you had Isaiah Buggs and Kaminsky for half of what Matt Prater cost. You see like when you associate a value to it, you said it was Andrew on the line? Yeah. Andrew, when you associate a value to it, you see what I'm saying there? Like that's I think Badgley was fine, man. For what he is, the percentage, he made pretty much the kicks he was supposed to. I think he was fine.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you got it, my friend. Appreciate it. Okay, we're off to a good start. Yeah. What's your thought on that philosophy, Flannel?
I would agree with pretty much everything you said. And I think this idea that we didn't have a kicker was a little bit overblown. I thought Badgley did a perfectly fine job. I mean, you saw him make the vast majority of his field goals from 40 to 49 and even 50-plus. And you saw him make a 54-yarder in the playoff game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think Badgley's terrible
he's
by
fine.
any means. He's fine.
If I told you right now they're going to run it back and Badgley's going to be the kicker, I'd be like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, and I know there's some people that would be like, oh my God, how could you do something like that? I am definitely not in that camp. I mean, during his time with the Lions, he's made 9 of 11 from 40 to 49 and 2 of 3 from 50-plus, and that doesn't include the 50-plus yarder that he hit in the playoffs against the Buccaneers. And I believe in the playoffs he was perfect on his field goal attempts. So Badgley is fine. He's not elite, but given what we have, he's fine.
D-Town Heat says kickers are people too. And that's a great call by Andrew because I do want to say this. Again, all year long, when we've talked about the Lions and I've talked about Brad Holmes, there are things we have to get comfortable with. Spencer Raxter is a guy. He's comfortable with the Goff situation because he knows it's coming.
I am.
And you got 2 playoff wins.
We did.
And in the NFC Championship, certainly Goff was not the reason you lost that football game.
He wasn't.
So, as it stands, when you're 4th in the league in touchdowns and 2nd in passing yards, Spencer's cool with that. That's production.
I am.
Commensurate with the money that's being reported that he will get. he's comfortable. We have to get comfortable with how Brad Holmes operates in terms of what can Brad Holmes do with $4 million for a kicker?
He could get other positions of need. Like, for example, you talked about John Kaminsky and Isaiah Buggs, and I get it. They weren't exactly what you hoped they would be this year. I mean, for different reasons. Isaiah Buggs, when he played, actually was pretty good. But those are certainly players that together, if they were to give you what they are most capable of, what they gave you in 2022 would be well worth it over a $4 million kicker. And like we said, Michael Badgley's fine. He's not terrible by any means.
And here's another way of thinking about this. Again, just to make you comfortable with it. When you talk about a $4 million kicker, that would pay for roughly his fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh round picks. You like James Houston?
I do.
Yeah. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You like Amon-Ra
Obviously,
St.
but
Brown?
the best of them all.
He's pretty good.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what he could. Guys, get comfortable. Get out of your Madden game. Get out of your fantasy draft and get in the real world here. All right?
Well, in the case of kickers, most certainly.
Get in the real world.
I don't think it's the worst idea in the world to want a kicker, though. Because
We got a kicker.
I get it, but
What issue did you have with Badgley?
he's not consistent from 40 out, and that's where the league is going. If you can't hit
No.
at least 40
See,
consistently.
KG, that's where I go the other way. Because the league, that's not where, quote, the league is going. The league is going the other way. Because if it's 4th and 4, the math tells you.
Well, that's
You're
true.
going for it
But
now.
if your drive stalls out and you're past the 50, you expect to have a kicker that can hit that long of a distance.
Right, but if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you're going for it. And you can do it and fail twice. But
I
on
get
that
it.
third time, you get the touchdown, and you're better off.
Today's kickers are hitting 50, 55 yarders like easily now.
Today's expensive kickers, yes, except for the guys on the rookie deals.
Jake Moody is an example. I know he was just drafted last year, but that's an example. I mean, it's.
Don't get me started on that
I
one.
feel you.
Don't get me started. You got Hendon Hooker instead of Jake
you got
Moody.
the Dallas Cowboys guy. He was an XFL kicker, wasn't he? I mean,
yeah, he
there's
was.
exceptions. There's exceptions.
Absolutely. And I haven't looked at his contract situation, but I would think he's probably in line for a raise.
Oh, yeah. He was arguably the best kicker in the league last year.
313-552-6322. Look at that. We haven't even gotten to a topic yet,
Yeah,
but the callers are on point.
You got the callers hanging up on themselves, so I haven't even had to do anything.
All right, see? How often does this happen in life? When you're married, Sam Flannel, it never happens. How often do you you lay out a plan and everyone executes it, man?